I'm Sean from dishonorablespeechandpolitics.com, and I previously did a video on my definition of dishonorable speech as speech that ultimately supports or promotes hate. I defined hate as a feeling that acts as a motivating force to bring about a net destruction of value. And finally, I defined value as usefulness to people in supporting and promoting life and gaining positive experiences. Lately, I've been thinking about the concept of value and realized that my definition of it was missing something. For instance, if 1,000 people steal a total of 1% of someone's wealth so they can all have the positive experience of eating ice cream for dessert, in my opinion, this doesn't build value. I believe it ultimately supports hate. Why is that? This new and I believe more complete definition of value now includes usefulness in supporting people's individual rights to their own lives and the products of their efforts, which includes their wealth. I think this addition to my definition is actually super important because, in my opinion, the rights of the individual are foundational to value building in the world. In other words, if we do not hold very high esteem for people's individual rights to their own lives and the products of their efforts, then, in general, I believe far less value will be built in the world. Why do I think that? Well, if we violate an individual's rights, I believe part of us knows we're doing it and feels it in our conscience to some degree, thus giving us a less positive overall experience. Even if we're not the ones directly doing the rights violation, I think if we see it and don't do something about it, we feel it in our conscience. This is even if we make up some story to justify the rights violation or why it makes sense to not do anything about it, and try to clear our conscience using this made-up story. Also, when we violate someone's rights, we realize more fully that people are capable of doing that because we just did it. This can mean less positive experiences of life for us because we'll generally have more fear that something similar could be done to us. In addition, if we don't respect individuals' rights, we inspire other people to do the same, so others are less likely to respect our rights. And finally, I believe it'd probably feel much more obvious the value is being destroyed if your own personal individual rights were the ones being violated. So here's my new definition of value, and then I'll give my updated definitions of honorable and dishonorable speech based on that. Value is defined here as how useful something ultimately is to people in supporting and promoting life, supporting people's individual rights to their own lives and the products of their efforts, and in gaining positive experiences. Note that positive can have objective aspects such as helping to avoid death or be subjective, such as the positive experience you get from a keepsake that means something to you but not someone else. Ultimately means taking into account the sum total of something's usefulness over the long term, such as including possible trade-offs between some people's positive experiences and an individual's right to their own life and the product of their efforts. Putting my new definition of value into my definitions of honorable and dishonorable speech yields: honorable speech is speech that ultimately supports or promotes love, that is, feelings that act as motivating forces to bring about a net increase in value or usefulness to people in promoting life, supporting individual rights to life and property, and gaining positive experiences. Dishonorable speech is speech that ultimately supports or promotes hate, that is, feelings that act as motivating forces to bring about a net destruction of value or usefulness to people in promoting life, supporting individual rights to life and property, and gaining positive experiences. So those are my updated definitions of value, honorable speech, and dishonorable speech. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.